Hello YouTube, it's me again, your boy, Andrew. I'm here to tell you a story that happened to me a little bit ago. I don't remember the exact date or month even, but I just thought that it was so absurd. May as well make a video about it. That's what all the cool kids are doing, right? Right? So, it all started when I was leaving my house at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was going to meet my friends at the middle school. That's the common meeting ground in my town amongst us hip children. Did I use that right? So, I was walking out, checking my phone as us millennials do, when all of a sudden this little girl walked up to me. And she was like, "Can I use that?" And I was like, "What?" She said, "Can I use that?" And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "What do you need to use it for, sweetie?" And she was like, "I need to call my mom and tell her that I'm gonna be late." And I was like, "Okay, sure." So she called her mom, and this is where it really starts getting absurd. She just started speaking Spanish. She was like, "Hola." That was so racist. But she just started speaking Spanish, and I was like, "What?" Now, I don't want to, assume someone's race, but she didn't really take me as someone who looked like she'd speak Spanish as a commoner in her home. So she was like, "Oh, my mom told me that it's okay if I'm late. Can you walk me home?" And I was like, "Okay, where's your house at?" She said, "All the way downtown." And I was like, I didn't want to be rude, I didn't want to be like, "Oh, I can't. I have to do something better and not help the youth of our community." So I was like, fine, sure, whatever. And she started asking me these questions as soon as we set off on our adventure towards her home. They started out kind of like strange, like, "Oh, I like your hair. Are you growing it out?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And she said, "Has your hair ever been longer?" And I was like, "No, this is normally as long as it gets. This is when I had my long hair." She was like, "Do you wear makeup?" And I was like, "No." "Your skin's really clear. Do you wear makeup?" And I was like, "I do not." "Why do you think that?" She was like, "Would you ever wear a dress?" What? I was like, maybe if somebody dared me to and they gave me money for it or something. And she was like, "Wait a minute. Are you a girl?" And I was like, "No." She thought I was a female. She thought I was a female. A human girl. I felt so disrespected, but I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not." And this is when we were about to cross a street. And since it was right after school, the crossing guard was there. She was pulling up her stop sign. It was like, she knew what was going on. So, she was like, "Oh, do you want to learn Spanish?" Now, the type of Spanish that she was teaching me, I'm pretty sure wasn't actually Spanish. But I don't know. I don't know any other language. She was telling me that words like car were very different. Like El Carazo or something. Now, I heard this girl speak fluent Spanish, so I knew she had to at least know something. So maybe she was trying to trick me. I don't know. But I was so confused because it didn't sound like any Spanish words I know. And I know, like, 2 words in Spanish. Hola and adios, amigos. Oh, that's 3! It was an odd experience. So when we got to her house, she was like, "Thank you! This is my friend. What was your name again?" And I said, "Oh, it's Andrew." She was like, "Oh, yeah. I thought he was a girl, but he's not." And the mom was like, "Oh, okay." She turned to me, she said, "Thank you for walking my daughter home. It means a lot." And I was like, "No biggie. It's totally fine." She was like, "Okay, thank you. Bye." She shut the door. And I started walking home, and I was like, she really thought I was a girl. And I thought, what is it about me that made her think that? Leave your opinion in the comments below.